Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Greenleaf Season 5 premiere reaction. And wow, this is one of the craziest episodes I can think of when it comes to a premiere. I thought we were building up for something that was hopeful and inspiring, that we were gonna have, taken on harmony and hope. I did not expect we would get that in the final seconds.
Yeah, spoilers ahead, obviously, for everyone out there watching, but I've been waiting for a really long time for this show to come back. I kept wondering when it was going to come back, and every month waiting and waiting and waiting. Finally, it's back. I'm very, very excited, even though some horrible stuff happened in this episode. But I mean, this is Greenleaf, so there are some shocking things that have happened in this entire series. So this is not surprising, but still surprising. I can't believe what happened.
I guess I feel the same way. It's just I didn't want to accept the idea that we could have had this, but obviously we did, and I'm just living in denial. But we'll get into it. Before we do, though, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates, because we got a lot of them coming up.
So obviously the big spoiler, cover your ears if you don't want to hear, but if you are here for this is what we're talking about. AJ has taken his life. It's so crazy, and it's come on the heels of this mystery man that Grace met in the graveyard actually being the person taking the fall for what AJ later said. I know that I did it, and the guilt is eating away at him. And I've always wondered if there was something a little more to the guilt that he was having. And I think some of you out there have been wondering that too. The idea that maybe this mystery man who was in the graveyard with Grace, he kind of felt like he knew a lot. And there was even a moment there where she saw him coming down the hill and she was like, AJ? So there's a part of me that wondered for a long time, is this the real AJ? And maybe the AJ that's been there just took an opportunity when he saw Grace to be like, yeah, sure, I'm AJ. Let's kind of see how this plays out. And then it just got away from him and got in his head. And now this has happened because when he looked at that picture, there was something there.
There's so many different ways that you could sort of see all this and take all this and kind of imagine what is going on. Because to me, the fundamental question is, what is the relationship between AJ and this mystery man, and how does ultimately all of that factor in? Because it feels a lot like they sort of viewed themselves as almost second selves, that maybe the two of them were connected, maybe there was an awareness between the two. There's something about AJ being within this world that he almost felt more okay being arrested and going away than having some sort of opportunity to live within the present. I certainly don't think we're anywhere close to getting answers on any of this as of yet. I don't want to make too many assumptions for what the future holds. At Greenleaf, they do shocking things. I guess it's possible that we see like Ghost AJ for the rest of the season, or he just wanders around like nothing happened. But I really think that they're setting up something where we're going to wonder a lot about identity, what it means, what this relationship is. But also, this is just a question I'm thinking about. What's the larger purpose of all of this? Like, how does this in the end affect the entire Greenleaf family?
Yeah, because I mean, was this person who was in the graveyard actually part of the family, or was he something else? Because this show is about faith and miracles and sort of unexplained things that come into your life for very certain purposes. This man has come into their life and said some really cryptic things at this graveyard, talking about how everything has this expiry, and then he dies like the next day, and then he's blamed for what happened when AJ even said, I know what I did. I know that I did this. I don't feel good about this. So that whole idea of, things coming in for purpose, it's like, Grace wants to celebrate, okay, yeah, this is a horrible thing that happened, but you're safe and you're with us. And then you've got the other side where AJ is not seeing this as a miracle or an opportunity that's come in. He's just seeing all the bad stuff that's come along with it, that it's almost like he's feeling like there's a trail of bad behind him. So for him to sort of get to this point that he's going to take his own life was just crazy. And I don't know why I didn't see it coming, but I just didn't. I thought he was gonna leave.
I was certain he was gonna leave. Like, I thought when we saw him
he was gonna
that
leave.
he was getting ready to skip town. Like, that's what I was sort of seeing there. And I thought, okay, they're checking in on him, and Grace is gonna come in, open the door, and it's gonna be gone, and there's gonna be nothing there.
Yeah, I thought maybe a note saying thanks for your help or whatever, but no, I thought he was gone.
Yeah, and so it's a good twist, I guess, for the sake of having us scratching our heads and wondering what exactly is going on. But the question I still think is, how much time are you going to have to devote to this when you have, 7 other storylines that are all very compelling in their own right? And it's not like we're dealing with a lot of real estate here. We don't have that many episodes left.
I know. Why do you gotta say things
I'm just putting myself into the sad reality now that, I wanted to see the Bishop and Lady May wedding, and I feel like you can't go get married after this, so that's got to be kind of called off for the time being.
Yeah, and I was really excited when they brought up that idea, because I thought kicking off this premiere with that kind of hope, because there was a lot of tough stuff that happened at the end of last season. I knew that was going to spill into the premiere for sure. I did not expect the AJ thing to happen at all, and that was horrible. So having that wedding would have set up really nicely for at least sort of the storyline of the love and the hope and all of that we need to get through some of the dark stuff.
It could have been something nice. It could have been a comfort. We could have had some comfort here, but
I just want that wedding. I want to see these two. If these two do not get back together where they're married and they're together, I need to see that before this show ends, or I'm going to be really disappointed, but I feel like it's coming.
I feel like if I was looking into a crystal ball that's not actually here, I think this series finale is going to have the wedding, and they're going to do it from within their new church that they start, because Cavalry is too tainted. It's been through too much dark stuff over the course of its run.
And it sounds like it's getting torn down, hopefully with Bob and Judy inside it.
Bob! We have a new edition now of Bob Sucks Everyone, and then this week's edition, it just so turns out that Bob's whole plan here is to just set up a fake residence, try to get involved in the community, donate some money, look like he's actively there, and then run for public office. And the thing that I kind of wonder about this is this, as much as I loathe Bob, it's sort of like, is this the best storyline? Because I feel like any reputable journalist should be able to sort of piece together some of this if Darius was able to so fast.
Yeah, it's true, because even when they were talking about it, they're like, oh man, this is a really good, setup. And yeah, it looks like a really good setup, but he was able to figure it out from one talk with Bob. So, I mean, it's not that great.
Maybe Darius is just the best journalist of all time, and he's able to just, go from, 0 to 60 in 8 seconds and figure it all out.
Hopefully, this bit of information is going to help them maybe bring down Hope and Harmony. I mean, they suck. Everybody wants to see them get their just desserts. The thing for me, though, is that I don't necessarily want to see the Greenleafs go back to that church. I'd like to see them start up a new church. I love that idea that Bishop has, sort of this let's start again. Let's go down and get married right now. Let's start our own thing again and build it from the ground up. And it's going to be about family. And they need that after everything they've been going through. Drop the big church, drop the money, just focus in on what matters, which is faith and family.
Let's talk about the idea then of temptation, because for such a biblical show, it's pretty good that you have the serpent, you have the apple, use whatever Genesis metaphor that you really want here, because I'm just going to paint a situation because I don't know what actually happens here. But let's say that Grace is able to get one over on old Bob, and that Bob does some more things that make his campaign very transparent, and Bob is sort of taken down quickly, and then Cavalry, there's an opportunity that starts to open up, but it's sort of like you're taking on an institution that still has a lot of baggage if you are Bishop and Lady May at that point. If you're presented with what looks to be a silver platter, but is really a silver platter with a bunch of chips in it, maybe some old food that's in like one of the sides of it or whatever.
Chips sound alright.
Well, no, like it's busted chips. It's like
Busted chips.
it's not a good. It's a bad silver platter. You don't want this silver. Go and take the, what I guess copper. Copper's like third place, right? Get the copper platter.
Copper platter filled with some rotting fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get the platter that's going to last longer. That is here you go. This is the new church. This is the new life. Embrace that.
Yeah, and I think that this is where we're going. I mean, it really feels like it. Everything that's happened over at Calvary, it is too tainted. There are so many sort of good memories there, but there's a lot of bad stuff that's happened. And it was a really cool scene to see Bishop with the ladies there at his house sort of talking about it, where they were like, oh man, we didn't know that this is where things were going. We didn't know that Connie was sort of setting all this up. Like, we can't believe that we got roped into all this stuff. I feel like building from that ground up is really going to be the thing that's going to lift all of these people back up again. I don't know that sour taste or the rotten fruit or, the crappy platter, anybody wants to go back to that.
Don't go back to the bad platter, everyone. It's going to just break apart into more pieces. But can I talk about how irritated I am at Phil now? Because here's the thing, Phil
is also the worst.
Yeah.
Phil can also be in the church when it gets pulled down.
Because see,
with
Phil,
Bob
with
and
his
Judy.
whole, keep the ring because I still love you. Phil, if you loved her, you wouldn't have left her for Judy. I don't care what position you're being given. You would go and preach to people in a tiny church with no money if you really loved her. So stop it with you, or you can keep the ring nonsense and just go away.
Yeah, I agree. That was so irritating to have him say that, because that's not what love is. Phil doesn't love anybody except Phil, and that whole thing, keep the ring because I love you, you don't love her, and because you would give up anything for love. Love is the thing that everybody in this world is chasing after. It's the only thing that matters. Like, you can have love and have no money, but if you have love, you're still filled. You can have all the riches, but if you don't have the love, then it doesn't matter. It's just, Phil, get your priorities straight. And while we're on that, Charity, also get your priorities straight, because you have really screwed over your family for the same thing that Phil is screwing you over for, like having a position at the church. However, I will say that it was very cool at the end when she came for the wedding, and she was like, do you still want me to be there? And of course, Bishop's like, get in the car, Charity. I was like, yes, okay, so that's still all right.
You're all still family. They all love each other. I think at the end of all of this, after what you said about Phil, I have been spending the last minute or so thinking the official song for Phil needs to be "I would do anything for love, but I won't do that." But anyway, I like this episode a lot. Now that song's gonna be in my head all night. But
all right, we also have to talk about Jacob and his choices of everything that's going on. So it seems like divorce is going through with Carissa. Yeah. I mean, we kind of saw that coming. Their marriage has been really all over the place, on the rocks. Everybody's cheating on everybody. It hasn't been working out well. I was wondering if maybe by the end of the season they might be able to find a way to work through it, but I don't know. There's not a lot of episodes left, and there's a lot of anger there. Like, Jacob is done.
This is the thing with it, is that sometimes people just aren't right for each other, and unless these two actually find a way to repair things, maybe they're better off going forward and looking elsewhere, but at the same time, I also kind of think they need to spend some time looking within themselves and sort of figure out what exactly it is that they want, because while I know that Jacob isn't the perpetrator of every bad thing that has happened to him, I think Jacob is also his own worst enemy a lot. He gets very heated very quickly sometimes. He doesn't always think clearly, and I think so long as that continues, not to be Jacob's personal therapist here, but I think he's going to continue to have problems.
Also, is there anyone else out there that thinks that Alexa's kid is Jacob's? Because, like, I kind of am feeling that that might be the case, and she is just so mad and over Jacob and wants him out that she was just like, no, of course she is not yours, not in a million years, get out of my house.
Here's the thing.
I think it's Jacob's, and she's like, just like, get out.
Given that I brought up Ghost AJ haunting everyone for the remainder of Greenleaf, I don't think that is out of the realm of possibility. That's actually probably much more in the realm of possibility than Ghost AJ.
And it was interesting to see him actually pick up that phone and call her, because this is the last season. I'm expecting to see some people back from the past. That's usually kind of how the last season goes. You want to wrap kind of everything up. I think this is probably the last time we're going to see her. It was interesting to see her because I do think that that kid is his.
I think it's possible that it is so, and I think Greenleaf does love twists. I think if we see her again, I think that kid is for sure his. I think if we don't see her again, maybe they'll throw it aside. I'm not sure, but I do think I think we are going to have like that roll call of familiar Greenleaf faces. It does sound like Oprah's probably going to be back at some point through all of this. So
yeah, I think I saw Noah in the trailer, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Darius, who hasn't been in every episode. So they're giving us all of the Greenleaf goodness that we want to go along with the Greenleaf sadness that we want, because apparently we can't end an episode in a way that makes everyone feel good.
I can't wait for the next episode with that ending. Like, I can't wait.
All right, well, we'll give you guys the floor on all this and give us your thoughts, your theories, what the connection is between AJ and the Mystery Man. And if you did like this video, subscribe to the channel for more, give us a like, and if you want to support us further, check that link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.